These two might work, but I didn't like them. This is probably the one you want to try first if you have damaged hair. And this is extremely overpriced, and a lot of you are throwing money down the drain by rinsing it out. I have tried over 15 different bond builders on the market, and I'm not even done yet. I have many more to go through. Did you know that there is no legal definition bond builders have to abide by? A lot of them are just repackaged conditioners marketed differently so they can be sold to you for a much higher price than they're worth. So to save you some money, I am trying out all bond builders on the market, as well as taking a skeptical look at the science and evidence behind them, so you know exactly which ones deserve your money. This video is very exciting to me because I made a mistake that led me to find one of my favorite products of all time, and if you're someone who struggles with chronically dry hair, you will absolutely love it. But before I get to that, I want to start out this video with Epres because I believe this is the product that I think is most likely to be an actual bond builder. This is like Olaplex but on crack. It's amazing. Epres is actually Olaplex's baby brother because it was started by Eric Presley, one of the two chemists behind Olaplex's technology. Essentially, the logic behind Epres being born is that Presley was like, I have found this new molecule that can penetrate better and deeper and repair hair better than Olaplex can, and therefore I will start my own company. I have never tried a product that feels similar to this. It makes my hair feel very strong, and I was honestly very confused after I tried it out for the first time because that feeling of strength remains in your hair even after you shampoo it out, even after you put other products on. It has a very different application technique from other bond builders on the market. You get a spray bottle and these vials, and you have to pour one of the vials into the bottle and then mix it with water. It does not matter if the water you use is distilled or not, it will work regardless. I will explain why a bit later. Because the application method with this is so easy, I felt more inclined to use it. I didn't have to get into the shower, then shampoo my hair, then come out, dry my hair a bit, then apply the bond builder, then wait, then go back into the shower. You can just use this as a pre-poo, which makes it very, very convenient. It's a little bit messy though, but that's partly because the mist of the bottle is so good. It gets everywhere. If you have curly hair, you'll definitely love this bottle because the mist really saturates your hair and it sort of gets everywhere. I don't find this to be very conditioning, to be honest, which is why I was very surprised when I did some more research on the product. You know when you use a clarifying shampoo and your hair feels squeaky clean? This is how it makes my hair feel. I've tried this product 3 different times, and the first time I wondered if it was my shampoo somehow. I don't know, I saw a lot of people say it makes the hair soft, and it does not for me, but it makes my hair feel strong. I had very minimal breakage when I was combing my hair in the shower. 10 out of 10, definitely recommend. This is the part that most of you come for. Is there some scientific merit behind all of this, or is this all marketing? Interestingly, Epres only has 4 ingredients in it, very different from most bond builders on the market that have a lot more conditioning agents. The very first ingredient, diethylhexyl malate, is supposed to be the one doing the work of the bond building. This is a maleic acid derivative. Olaplex also uses a maleic acid derivative. The technologies are different though. Some of the differences are very technical. Epres, for example, is oil-based. By the way, this is why it does not matter whether or not you're using distilled water. And the molecule is structurally simpler than that of Olaplex. It's also acid-free. They are very proud of this because it essentially means that it's not going to interfere with chemical treatments. So let's say you want to use it during a relaxer or a bleaching process. This will not disrupt the way those work. But it also tells us that this is not a pH adjuster.
Pause. In case you don't know or remember what bonds in the hair are, your hair is made out of keratin, and that keratin is held together by bonds. You have hydrogen, ionic, and disulfide bonds. Hydrogen bonds are the weakest, and disulfide bonds are the strongest, which means it takes a lot more to break them. The more these break, the more fragile your hair. And this is why it's so much harder to retain length when you regularly flat iron your hair, relax it, bleach it, etc. It's a lot easier to break hydrogen and ionic bonds, but it's also a lot easier to reform them. This is all you need to know for now. I will explain more as the video goes on.
Ionic bonds are reformed when you adjust the pH of hair. Everything that is acidic will do this. That is going to make your hair feel nice. It's going to close the cuticle, but there is a catch. This is temporary, and the effect will fade when the pH of your hair shifts again. And it's quite easy to do. Everything that is acidic will do this. So sometimes brands will market things as bond builders when they are just a bit more acidic, and they will be able to charge you more for a product that it's not worth the price at all. Epres also claims to have biodiffusion technology, and what this means is that the product keeps repairing your hair even after you rinse it out. As far as the remainder of the ingredients go, the Beauty Brains podcast believe this is where you'll see most of the benefits from. The Beauty Brains podcast is a podcast hosted by two cosmetic chemists. One of them, Valerie George, is also a cosmetic formulator, so she has a lot of experience with hair care formulations.
This product actually is a conditioner because it has that stearamidopropyl dimethylamine in it and oleoyl alcohol, which changes the feel on hair. So in some effect, that is the conditioning agent, but the stearamidopropyl dimethylamine is not the bond building agent.
Right. So it'll make your hair feel good. Now, whether that has long-term improvement of your hair and it's making bonds, I'd be a little skeptical of that. But the immediate impacts that you're going to notice are the stearamidopropyl dimethylamine, which you can find in nicer conditioners.
They do mention the fact that malic acid in general is very good at giving the perception of strength in the hair. Epres is a new company, so information about it online is quite scarce. I was unable to find studies, but I found their patent, and in it, they show experimental examples. Important disclaimer here, a patent in itself doesn't mean that the product will do in real life what it's saying it does. But their examples are very interesting. There is one in which they relaxed 2 swatches of African American hair and treated 1 swatch only with the dithahexyl maleate. And that swatch of hair felt softer, was easier to comb, and had far less damaged ends. The longer they left the hair in the solution, the better it felt. In another one, they directly compared the active with that of Olaplex. They use Olaplex #1 because Olaplex #1 is just the Olaplex malic acid derivative and some water, so it won't be impacted by conditioning products that are in, let's say, Olaplex #3. They directly compare the active with that of Olaplex on bleached hair, and theirs performed better. This one is not really related to hair, but I found it interesting, so I'm sharing it with you. They also have an experimental example showing their active improves nail health. So if you're struggling with your nails, I would definitely give this a try if you're trying to repair damaged hair. The next product I tried is Bumble Bumble Triple Bond Flash Rinse. I did not like this product whatsoever, but it made me discover something about this bond building part of the industry that I did not know, that I do not think most people know, and that I want to share with you. So Bumble Bumble claims to build all 3 bonds and fortify hair from inside out instantly. They say ideal for damaged hair. My hair is not strongly damaged, but while I was using this product, I was heat styling my hair multiple times a week with the Dyson Air Straight and straightening my hair at least once a week. It's quite interesting because other brands claim their products also work on virgin hair. K18, for example, does this. I also know that Olaplex does as well. I believe Epres does the same thing. They also say 2 times more shine in comparison to unwashed hair, but this is marketing. This holds for pretty much all products. If your hair is unwashed, it's going to look dull. If you wash it and you apply conditioner, it's going to look twice as shiny. So this means nothing. Like I said, I really did not like this product. I tried it 2 different ways, before shampooing my hair and after shampooing my hair before I applied conditioner, and I did not like it either way. It made my hair feel worse, like more dry. I saw similar reviews from others, but most people who have tried it seem to like it, so I think this just didn't agree with my hair. Or maybe it's because my hair is not damaged enough, so that's not on the product. It's not as popular as other bond builders like K18 or Living Proof, so it's hard to find many reviews online about this product. For the same reason, I struggled to find expert opinions on this product, so I had to do a bit of digging myself, and I found something quite interesting. So when you look at the ingredients, you have water, then you have an emulsifier, a silicone. Those are pretty standard in conditioners, but you look further down and you find hydroxypropyl gluconamide and hydroxypropyl ammonium gluconate. And when you Google these 2, you come across something called FiberHance by Ashland. There is no mention of this on Bumble Bumble, so I quickly asked an agent on the website, and thank you Kanwar from Bumble Bumble, because he was so kind to confirm that it is indeed the technology present in their product. FiberHance is a patented chemistry that is supposed to be able to reform the hydrogen and ionic bonds in your hair. I'm always a bit skeptical of anything that zones in on these 2 bonds specifically, because hydrogen bonds will repair on their own when water evaporates, and ionic bonds are affected by changes in pH.
But this is not what they are claiming to do. So like I explained earlier, hydrogen bonds and ionic bonds are easy to repair. You wet your hair, you break hydrogen bonds. Your hair dries, hydrogen bonds are repaired. You use something more alkaline on your hair, your ionic bonds break. You use something acidic, they get repaired. That's not hard to do, but this FiberHance thing is claiming to be able to create new hydrogen and ionic bonds in the hair. And this is actually a lot more intriguing, because while ionic and hydrogen bonds are not as strong on their own as the disulfide bonds in your hair, there are a lot more of them. And because there are so many of them, they are responsible for a great deal of your hair's strength. And so if you can have more of these bonds that are easy to repair in your hair becomes stronger. And it can possibly replace the mechanism where we're trying to repair disulfide bonds to increase strength, because it's harder to manage to do that. And instead, what you can do is just increase the amount of the easy to repair bonds in your hair to increase overall strength of said hair. I hope that makes sense.
They make really impressive claims, such as penetrates deep into the hair fiber to the cortex and restores hair fiber strength back to the levels of virgin hair. You'll notice that they do not talk about disulfide bonds, but Bumble and Bumble does. I looked down at the ingredient lists and I didn't see anything else that would be able to do this. So I looked a bit deeper into the FiberHance thing. Luckily for us, they have a study on the effects of gluconamides and gluconates on hair. The study in itself is way too complicated for me to understand, so I tried reaching out to a chemist and I have not gotten an answer back yet. So please, if you are a chemist and you could break this down in mere mortal language way, please reach out to me via email or on TikTok so I can put that information in the last part of this series. There is a passage that piqued my interest though. Work is ongoing regarding the mechanisms of action of these chemicals, but this work suggests that strongly hydrogen bonded salt bridges may play a role as a substitute for damaged disulfide bridges. I think this is where the claim of repairing disulfide bonds come from, but again, I'm not sure. I'll make sure to provide an update on this. Anyhow, I still haven't told you about the surprising bit of information that I found. Like I said, they don't mention this FiberHance thing anywhere on the website. If you ask them, they'll confirm, but it's not highlighted, and now I know why. This is because this thing is actually featured in a lot of other bond builders on the market. This is the business model of this Ashland company. Essentially what they do, they found this chemistry and they now resell it to brands to allow them to put it into their formulas so they can all have their own bond builder. You can actually buy this to put it into your own product. So therefore it's present in multiple bond builders on the market, like Carousels, for example. And you will think it's their own technology because they even gave it a little name, Bondanamide, but it's not. It's this FiberHance thing. Greatest coincidence that this is also present in CurlSmith Curl Rehab. I did not plan this. This was the next product that I tried. I only found out about this after trying out the products and writing out my script and doing research. I hated the smell of this. Most customers seem to like it. I did not. It smells really artificial in a way that I can stand, and it deterred me a bit from using it, but I did try it all 3 times. This product did not agree with my hair, but again, this is not the fault of the product. I blow dry my hair straight pretty much all the time, and it's not meant to be used that way. It's meant for when you are actually wearing out your curls. So I tried this on my son's hair. He has very, very curly hair, and his hair did like it very, very much. It does exactly what it says it's going to do. It defines curls really, really well. It's recommended for weak damaged curls, but everyone on the website seems to have curls that are just fine. When we look at the ingredients, FiberHance is further down the list compared to the triple bond flash rinse. They talk about a bond curl complex, and I had to look that up, and I found out that they have 2 other technologies that they have sort of outsourced in here. Number 1 is called ProCutigen Bond, which they say targets disulfide bonds, but there is no mention of this on the ProCutigen website itself. And then you also have a third complex they outsource. This one is based on creatine, and they also have a bunch of small tests showing its benefits on hair. Here again, CurlSmith claimed they target ionic bonds, but they don't claim this themselves. But they do say it's a pH regulator, which is why they talk about ionic bonds, like I said. This is really, really easy. If they only talk about ionic bonds, it's a pH regulator. It mainly seems to be a conditioning agent. I already touched on the fact simple conditioners in general will offer a lot of benefits some of these products claim they will. Moving on to the product a lot of you probably came for, K18. I think this is where I'm going to upset a lot of people. Before you listen to anything that I'm about to say about this product, be aware that I don't have as a goal to sell you anything. I made the kind of video that I wish I would have found myself. My goal here is to help you potentially save money and to be a bit more skeptical of marketing claims. I am not trying to sell you something. I'm not trying to upset you. If you love this product and if you want to keep using it, please keep doing that. I am not here for nefarious intent. K18, I think this is extremely overpriced, and I think I find a lot of things sketchy about K18, to be honest. So you first need to understand what supposedly makes K18 different from other bond builders. And for that, we need to talk about bonds again. So you have all these bonds in your hair, right? The hydrogen, the ionic, and the disulfide bonds. Disulfide bonds are actually a part of a bigger grouping called covalent bonds, and there are a lot of different covalent bonds in the hair. The disulfide bonds are just the most well-known amongst the general public because they are so strong. There is another type of covalent bonds though called peptide bonds, and K18 is the first bond builder to claim to target those as well. Most bond builders claim to repair the disulfide bond. I'm going to try to explain this to you as if you were 5. From the way that I understand it, your hair is essentially a ladder. Like, it's millions of little ladders, and the rungs are bonds. And for the sake of simplicity, let's say the rungs are disulfide bonds. The side rails is keratin, and that keratin is held together by peptide bonds. So you have the rails that are keratin held together by peptide bonds, and then you have the rungs that are disulfide bonds. When you damage your hair, some rungs break. Some side rails also break. Most bond builders claim to repair the rungs. K18 says, we have found a small molecule that goes deep into your hair that does not only repair the rungs, but can also repair the side rails. This molecule is going to find wherever there is damage in your ladder and it's going to repair it. And it doesn't matter whether it's on the rungs or the side rails. And that's what would make it so much more effective than other bond builders on the market. According to them, this brings the client's hair back up to 91% virgin strength and 94% virgin elasticity. Again, we are making really bold claims. I'm going to get into the more sciencey stuff in a minute, but there are a lot of things that bother me with K18. My biggest gripe with the product is the way it's encouraged to be used nowadays. So as far as I understand, the popular way of using this product now is to apply it after shampooing and wait 4 minutes and then rinse it out and follow up with conditioner. If I'm not mistaken, this was popularized by Abby Young, but this is so weird. I'm sure the chemist that put together this product put a lot of thought into the name and the instructions. This product is literally called the Live-In Molecular Repair Hair Mask. And they clearly state on the instructions that you're not supposed to rinse this out. They even put it in bold. And after that, they say that you can use other products on top after the 4-minute period has passed. But why call this a leave-in product and emphasize the fact this is not supposed to be rinsed out if it in fact can? Some products are multi-purpose. By the way, the next product that I'm going to talk to you about is multi-purpose, and they state clearly that it is multi-purpose. They could very well have put in the instructions that you can use it both ways. This is an expensive product. Like, I don't understand why is everyone rinsing this out? This is expensive. I believe they only updated this part on the website after getting complaints about the way the products make some people's hair feel. But I'm going to talk about that later because I experienced that myself. I found this a very frustrating product to use. K18 recommends a small amount of product for the entire head of hair, and distributing the product everywhere using even the maximum 6 pumps of product is really challenging when you have textured hair. And because you're using this after shampooing your hair, and because you are using so little product, your hair is too tangly to comb it through. I tried this as a leave-in and I tried it as a rinse out. When you actually do follow the instructions on the packaging, your hair feels dry. Your hair feels dry. It made my hair feel really dry. And I'm not the only one. This is a common complaint with K18. It feels so crunchy and dry. Like there is a weird film on the hair. And no matter how much I put the products I actually like into my hair, that feeling just stay there. And now my hair just feels extremely dry now. And I tried this 6 times. Like I had plenty of time to figure out a way to use this product that would make me like it, and I did not at all. Honestly, when you use it as a rinse out, I don't think it does much. I'm sounding a little harsh here. This retails for $75. I'm not against spending money on luxury hair care, but that is exorbitant. And I think that if you're going to charge a price this high, your product should work the way you are telling people to use it.
To further illustrate what I mean, when you go on the website, they have updated the guidance for this product. Now they do say that you can actually apply conditioner after the 4 minutes are up, but for the professional molecular repair mist, it still says on the website that you're not supposed to rinse this out. And I believe the reason why both products were actually made to be left on the hair is the hydrolyzed wheat protein. Hydrolyzed wheat proteins are water soluble and they're commonly used in hair care products for their conditioning properties, and they also improve the strength and elasticity of hair, reduce breakage, smooth out hair texture, etc., etc., etc.
You might be watching this video and thinking, your hair is not very damaged, so why would you expect K18 to do something for your hair? But per K18 themselves, this is K18 saying this. There is no such thing as virgin hair and everyone could use a bit of repair. So, yeah, $75. I'm not the only one who is skeptical of K18.
You look at all the other ingredients, propylene glycol, acetyl alcohol, acetyl esters, bihine trimonium chloride, pretty standard leave-in conditioner stuffs.
Well, also we have a hydrolyzed wheat protein and a hydrolyzed wheat starch. Wheat protein is a great strength protein for hair. It's excellent even at very low use levels.
Oh, well, and I have to say that if you're going to get any benefit from a protein, it's a leave-in product. You have to ask yourself, if this peptide was so effective, why do they have all these other things in there? Why put in the wheat protein and the starch protein? Because, obviously they're trying to get the immediate effect that you're going to get from these other things. And then whether the bond builder is doing anything or not, who's going to even know? I'd also say you have to wonder why don't we see a study where someone has the leave-in conditioner with and without that protein?
This is a point Javonfort also made on K18. Javonfort is a cosmetic chemist on TikTok.
For this review, we're going to do a little bit of a science experiment. So the way they claim it works is that the K18 uses a patented oligopeptide that is a biological precursor to keratin. So basically it goes deep into the hair strands, the medulla to be exact, to mimic and generate the production of keratin, which doesn't actually happen because, again, hair is dead. So even if it's bioactive, it's not doing anything. And they do have clinical study data, but it's not third party. It's done by the brand. So always take those with a grain of salt, especially in this case because there's no placebo. Basically, they took double bleached hair and compared that to double bleached hair treated with K18. There was no conditioner placebo standard to compare it against. So how do we know it's actually the K18 doing the job? My theory is that it's the conditioning agent bihine trimonium chloride as well as the mollaine dicaprylyl ether doing most of the legwork. But let's look at the experiment. I'll be comparing the K18 polypeptide hair mask with my bootleg placebo, which again does not have the peptide in it, in order to see if it's the peptide that's actually doing the work. And for control, I'm using a human-haired mannequin bleached for 30 minutes with Splat, one of the most aggressive hair bleaches on the market. Here is the bleached hair before treatment, and here it is after with the K18 and placebo. And honestly, they look about the same, but for a field test, I got a second opinion, and the person said that the left side, aka the placebo side, felt a little bit softer, especially at the ends compared to the $75 treatment, which I thought was surprising. And there's also less visible split ends. So my final assessment is, yes, this treatment does work, but I don't think it's worth $75 because it wasn't the peptide that was doing the job. It was just being a really good conditioner.
There is also this study done on K18 and Olaplex, and Olaplex performed much better than K18. The researchers note that K18 resulted in an outer layer coating, while Olaplex penetrated deeper and actually improved the linkage network. There are a few drawbacks to the study, but it's the best thing I could find. Also important for me to mention, to be fair to K18, they say that numerous users are required to see an improvement. Same thing for Olaplex. And here they only tested the product once.
If you stuck around this long, congratulations, you've made it to my favorite product I tried. I made a mistake when I was trying to buy products for this video. I was supposed to buy the mask, which I think is the bond building product, but it was sold out. I bought this instead because it also had repair in it. I will feature the mask in the final part of the series, I promise. I'm very happy I made this mistake though. This has completely changed the way my blowouts come out. It's so conditioning. It's so conditioning. I have the worst technique and my blowouts come out so sleek. It makes my hair so smooth. If you have chronically dry hair, please try this. I will definitely keep using this. I already know this is like the product that I know for sure I will keep using. You can use it two ways, as a rinse out product or as a leave-in. It's a really good conditioner, but it's a fantastic leave-in. I cannot imagine wash days without this product. I have fallen in love with this. The funny thing though is that it's not a bond builder. And I know this with 99% certainty. And I didn't have to do a lot of research for that because they try to make it seem like it is. They mentioned their bond core technology, but number one, you can't find much on this at all. But also the only bond this supposedly repairs is hydrogen bonds. And hydrogen bonds repair on their own as your hair dries. Still, fantastic product. I love it very much. And this is what I'm talking about when I say that some of these brands are trying to upsell you stuff by using the bond thing, because I would not have tried this thing if it wasn't labeled as bond repair. And because it's such a good product, I would have thought it's a good product because it's a bond repair product. It's not. It's just a really good leave-in conditioner. We have reached the end of this video. I don't know when I will post part 3. These videos are very time consuming to make. I always try to get them out as fast as I can. I am currently in the middle of trying out products for part 3. If there is a product you want me to try out and feature it in it, please drop a comment. Otherwise, you might be interested in part 1, where I cover Olaplex, Living Proof, and Redken's bond builders. I see you in another video of mine.